Greetings guys, hey, a warm welcome to you all. This is Capricorn's October reading for 2020. So a warm welcome Capricorn. I hope you are all able to just sit back, relax and hear the messages that are coming from this reading for you. Before we start, let's have a look at the astrological situation that is bombarding the planet at the moment. It is quite feisty. We have Mars in retrograde until November the 14th, and that went into retrograde on September the 9th. So these can be challenging times, and Mars is also kind of very feisty. It's got the added energy of Aries swiping in and out of it until probably February of next year. So we can expect tumultuous energies and fiery situations. And a good example of that are the terrible fires up in America at the moment and on the western coast. So there's a lot of potential globally for fiery, explosive events, and the Beirut event was sort of similar in many ways. We could see more of those. And that also plays out at the collective, at the interpersonal, and also within the personal realm of your own life. So I always feel forewarned is forearmed, and if we can all understand that these are quite feisty times that we're moving through, and if we can come back and anchor ourselves and stabilize ourselves and, you know, just be prepared to work through anything that might come up for you personally, then you've already got an extra piece of armor in your weaponry. And the armor is being calm, nurturing your soul, nurturing your body, knowing when to back off from things that seem really out of control. And I think they could be important messages as we move into 2021. We also have Pluto stationing direct in Capricorn, so that's in your guys' area. And Pluto, you know, is a bit of an odd planet as well, and he often brings things out. So I've no doubt for you guys, this is going to also be a bit like a purging session. That happens on October the 4th. We've got Mercury stationing retrograde on the 13th. We have Halloween Eve on the 31st of October as well. And even Halloween Eve is another little bit of an odd conjunction point in the planetary alignments and in the energy that can come in around the planet at that time. So we're going to be using these three different decks of cards that you see in front of you. But before we start, I did some intuitive work for you. And this is your message. Your first one was Spirit has a plan. Now that sounds a little bit like, yeah, well, and what? And it's a bit kind of heavy. But I think it's just saying to you, if you feel doubt, if you feel uncertainty, if you can't see the wood for the trees, if you feel all fogged in, just know that there is a plan that is unfolding somewhere for you guys. And it may seem a long way off, it may seem out of vision, but have faith. The other one message that came was be fearless and bold. You also got the number 35, which breaks down to an 8, which also breaks down to a 4. So this to me was also about grounding yourselves, and I've talked about that a little bit just prior to this, being grounded, spending time outdoors, being, you know, just careful with your own nurture and your body, mind and soul. I think that whatever is happening for you and this plan that Spirit might have, I have a feeling it could be slow moving. So we're not going to see perhaps immediate things happen. Well, not some people might, but not for everyone. There's a general overall, like, it feels to me like it's extrapolating itself out, and it's got many tentacles, and things are wide, and we can't really see the event horizon very well at the moment because it is foggy. But time-wise, I feel like the year is speeding up. Like back in March, I felt like, my God, every day seemed 10 days long, and we were in Groundhog Day. Now, perceptually, it has definitely quickened up. So something somewhere is speeding up. Now, what that means for us as a humanity or what's going on the planet, I'm unsure. We'll have to work through it as the year unfolds. But coming back to you guys, let's start with this first tarot deck tarot deck, which is a full deck, and it is a chakra tuned in deck. So it works with the chakra energies as well. So your first card is this, which is the Knight of Wands. I guess he's come out a little bit reversed. Now, he is often a fire sign energy. The Knights are often initiation of something. He is with possibly a career sector or something you're passionate about or very creative about. Now, because he's come out upside down, it does mean there's a possibility of a block or just something slowing up that you were hoping might have been a bit quicker. When he's his right way up, he's actually so full on, it's like boom, you know, you can hardly keep up with his energy and his drive and his passion, and blah, 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 blah. Everything goes out of control and super, super fast. So I still think the ideas are there, and I still think maybe the direction you're wanting with something that could be career related or work related or a creative passion, it's there, it's just not quite happening as fast as you might have thought. So also that card has a blue edge, which is about the throat chakra. So that is about speaking and communicating. So I think that's going to be very important for you to make sure that you do speak and communicate what you need to have heard, and also listen to what's coming in for you as well. So be open to communication at all levels. What's this one? The King of Swords. So another court card come in and another one reversed. So he can be an air sign person, so there may be an air sign person around you who again could be causing a little bit of I don't know, like feistiness or maybe lack of communication. Upright again, here's often about documents, legal binding contracts, but he came in this way as if to say that maybe there's a stall or a hold up, or something needs to be rewritten or drafted up again or redrawn. He could be, for some of you, a potential partner, so could have this one down here, but they're heading downwards. So is there something going on about maybe even relationships in your life? Are they in a slight glitch phase, or is there something that's not working the way you wanted it to, or does it need time spent on it, or does something need clearing? You know, sometimes it can just be a block, a temporary block. Sometimes it can be telling us to listen more, or to read something closer, or to see another way out of a situation that might be in. What are these two? The Four of Coins and the Wheel of Fortune. So both in the green realm, and this is the heart chakra energy, so it is quite often through this area, and the heart chakra can deal with emotions and relationships, but something we're also very passionate about. Now, I don't know why, but I seemed to notice these coins on here. Perhaps it's because there's 4 there and I saw this one very quickly. The Wheel of Fortune is not a common card to come out, and when it does, you can be guaranteed that some sort of big, epic, cosmic, galactic change is happening, but it's usually really, really slow, which makes me come back to what I said at the beginning, this slow moving event and grounding yourself for it. Now, when you ground yourself, you are re-energizing your body, mind and soul. You are balancing it all out, so you're nourishing everything, and that can be about spending time in places like forests or green areas or rivers and by the sea, even meditating, eating healthy foods and making sure you're hydrated. Now, for some reason I keep saying this message over and over, so I'm not sure, is there something coming up about water, or that we're all hot and we need to drink more? I can't quite put my finger on it. This card often refers to the fact that you may be worried about finances, but they are actually likely to be more stable than you think at this point in time. Sometimes there's a hidden nest egg somewhere, or there's an availability for you to gain a little bit more. Sometimes it's like a wage increase. Sometimes it could be that you've applied for a job and you are successful at obtaining an interview, or sometimes even the job offer. Now, I have seen this card turn up for interviews when people actually go across water. to do it. So they might travel to another state or into country or over water anyhow. The Wheel of Fortune, if we come back to this one, it is about karmic life path, whole journeys of evolution, and it's the slow turning process of jumping into another stage of your life. It generally bodes good fortune. So the word fortune down here generally bodes good fortune. It is slow, but generally it's turning in a more positive manner for the next part of the evolution of your journey. Now, for some of you, this may affect your heart one way or your passions, but there are all of these various avenues up here that it can affect. So it's an individual thing that you're going to have to think about for each of you. Let's just see if there's a couple more to come out for Capricorn for October 2020. Oh dear, well, we got a lot. And they've come out in bunches of 2. There's 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. So the question is, do I take all 6, or do we just go for 4 of them, because we've already had quite a few come out. I think I'm just going to go for 4, so I'm going to put these ones away. We won't know what they are. They're over here in this deck. So let's have a look at this. The 4 of Swords. Now, I knew that one was going to come out because when I was shuffling your cards before I started the reading, it fell onto the floor. And I thought, I'll pick it up because I'll put it back in the deck, but I know you're going to come out. Now, this is the card of rest and rejuvenation, and it's the card of looking after your body, and we've just been talking about this. Sometimes this can mean a small surgical procedure, and sometimes it's already been booked in. It can sometimes be for the purposes of beauty, but it can also be things like the excision of moles or something a little more invasive, like a test of some sorts. But also it's about meditation, taking time out, and very much calming the body down, making sure you have the right food, water, minerals, and relaxation as well. And we've got more of the green. So some of you may be affected emotionally at some point, and this may be affecting you from that aspect of life as well. Now, that card spun round and then it turned itself onto the side, but it was facing this way. So now we have the Knight of Cups, and he is the right way up, which is nice. He was on the move though, so he was still spinning around as if there's movement in this card, and he may have been on the transit coming in. Oftentimes this card is revered as a love card, meaning that new love can be coming, or a symbol of new hope in a love relationship, or like a new balance within it. It's about newness, awareness and beginnings, and also being passionate about something and being like you love this idea or this concept. And I'm getting the feeling that this is involved with some of these other cards in here, as if you're passionate about something. For some of you, this could be a water sign person who comes into your life or who plays a role. It could be the concept of a new job, career, health modality, or a love relationship. The High Priestess, number 2. She is the oracle of wisdom, and she knows a lot of esoteric knowledge. She has a vast understanding of cosmic life and vibrational energies, and she would know all about the workings of the Wheel of Fortune. So it feels as though you are growing or learning something, as if you were jumping through a time hole or jumping through some form of understanding about your evolutionary process of who you are, what you want, and where you're going. So I think there is big growth coming for you, and it might be slow turning, and it might take you a while to fully understand what is going on in the background of your feelings and thoughts and situations that crop up. She can also be considered a time of fertility and conception and pregnancies, but also a time where other people will find you attractive. So this is the potentiality of definitely new interest in terms of love romances and people being really interested in who you are and maybe wanting to get to know you a little bit better. she also is very much about trusting your intuition. The Five of Coins, nobody's real favourite. This card means a little bit of a downturn, feeling a little bit overwhelmed, sometimes feeling cut off from friends or family or your community and being left out of something. But it's very temporary and it's transient. If it does appear, it can sometimes even insinuate feeling unwell, like having a virus or a cold or a flu. It can also sometimes indicate that you may need a small operation because you may have fallen over and broken something. So we do have two cards in here that are indicating to me a little bit of a warning about your health and making sure that you look after it. If you do look after it and balance it, I think you'll come through fine. But for some of you, you might see a few physical little pain in the neck niggles that go on. They're not necessarily long term or long duration. This one can also notice a little bit of a downturn financially, or maybe something you might have been expecting like a job offer or a pay rise doesn't come through. But here we had earlier this card, which kind of is the opposite energy of that. So again, I'm thinking we're in the blue. We need to make sure that you communicate things well at this point in time if this card or this type of energy turns up, so that you don't end up with it running on too long or going to too much of a drama type thing. He does hold on to these coins quite tightly, so maybe that's what happens. He actually learns to not spend for the month, or he's holding back on big purchases because he feels a little bit frail about an income situation. So maybe watch this for the month of October. Don't go overtly spending. It's certainly not the message I'm getting here anyhow, but maybe be a bit more budget conscious and look after some of your finances. So the next set of cards are the Energy Oracle cards. This is for Capricorn. What do we have in store for them? Really nice, victory. So apply that victory wherever you need to. It could also be coming through with exams, results, job applications, victory personally as well. So that is a good card. Stick it in wherever you feel you need to apply victory in a situation. Really nice. The seventh chakra, which is right up here on the crown, Archangel Uriel to come in for the month to be with you. So this helps to give you clear insight into your pathway or journey, or to hear celestial messages, especially good if you are trying to make big decisions about where you're going or what you want to do. Now, Uriel is also very, very good for taking to business meetings as a sort of a mediator. So if you have any communications during the month that you're worried about, such as possibly this one over here, then take Uriel with you, and she helps with communication and she helps with negotiations and mediation as well. So that was a really nice one to come in. Again, take Uriel wherever you feel the need to apply her energies. This is for Capricorn for October. Goddess of the moon and the thinking man. So the moon can be all about emotions and bringing balance into situations as well. The moon cycles might play quite a role, and we did say we had Pluto stationing direct in Capricorn, so it might be talking about planets actually, and just the planetary or astrology that's going on. Also, she is very much about trusting her intuition and learning to hear the messages that are in the hidden realm, such as synchronistic, or coming to you through dreams, or coming through unusual means. And the same goes for our friend, where is she hiding? The High Priestess as well. And she's yellow. Yellow is the sacral solar plexus area of the body that is also about trusting your gut instincts. So being more intuitive in the month of October will benefit you positively. Apply your thinking logic, Capricorn, to anything that you need to make resolution or resolve or sort problems out. Now, I love this card in as much that if you see that spectacular crystal he's holding, that is actually an abundance cluster crystal. Now, I have a couple of them here on the desk. I think some of them are currently in a Reiki grid as well for some clients, but these are abundance crystals. Now, they're not necessarily that easy to come across, but when you do, they're well worth having in your life because they help to manifest abundance. So abundance can be financial, but it can also be emotional, physical, health, love, spiritual. So there, I will leave that for you until the end of the reading with my abundance crystals sitting on the card of the thinking man who is also holding an abundance crystal. So you have 3 of them now vibrating this energy through your reading. So I think that's really cool. Now, he could be applying this abundance through the metaphysical or through some thinking logic. So again, this will be however it needs to be applied for the month. Let's go to the last card of the reading, which is it's a chakra deck as well. Now, you've got another of the intuitive ones up in the third eye or the crown chakra, and we've already had Uriel come through your crown chakra. So 2 now that are deploying this connection to the cosmos or the universe or your higher self or your cosmic workers who are assigned with you to help you find your answers. And notice what this is. This is a big wheel. And what does that refer to? Like the wheel of fortune that we had in the very beginning. Even though this card doesn't depict an actual wheel, in traditional tarot it does. So we're starting to see an alignment of all sorts of things converging here in the reading. This card says support, love, signs and direction, guidance. Okay, so I'm going to read to you what guidance means. So we'll put these 3 cards here because I think these are the most active at this point in time. And I will find the words in the book. Sometimes it feels as though we are all alone, that we are struggling to find our way and no one is there to help. When we feel we are without guidance, it is usually because we are ignoring the wisdom, signs and support that are trying to reach us through the subtle realms of higher knowledge. When we try to force things with blind determination or disregard the subtle messages that life gives us, this is like ignoring the directions of a compass on a journey, then wondering why we don't end up where we want to be. We are all guided and supported throughout our lives. There is a constant source of love from the forces of higher beings, angels and guides. We are part of the miracle and the workings of the universe. When we ask for help and guidance, the universe always responds, orchestrating all manner of moments and circumstance to help align our steps. Guidance may come with a subtle shift of light or wind direction, through symbols in a dream or the lyrics of a song, through the quiet voice in your meditative writing or the words of a passing conversation. In order to receive the messages that life's higher realms may have for us, we may need to raise our sense of awareness in the moment. Be still, present, and have faith that you are supported and guided always. It is time to open yourself to the guidance available to you now. If there is an area of life in which you feel you need support, be willing to ask and then receive in whatever form it comes. The more you acknowledge the energy of guidance, the more clearly you will recognize it, therefore making it easier to utilize it in your life, bringing feelings of empowerment and the ability to move into flow-filled action and new levels of synchronistic connection to life. Breathe deeply and give thanks. Know that you are being guided and supported now. And that really reaffirms that message at the beginning that I gave to you when it said Spirit has a plan. And I said, it seemed like a really intense message. It is. clearly it started off with the Spirit has a plan and it's ended with this. Wow. I hope you really feel that connection. And for any of you that are in a quandary or a predicament, or you're worried or you're stressed or feared about anything, have faith that this is here for you, and tap into it and become the master of your destiny, and really focus on listening to the messages that come and seeing the synchronistic events, because this is all empowering for you. And it is a beautiful reading full of many magical elements that have all been brought together to give you a vibrational frequency healing and a lift and just an intensity of messages. So there we are, Capricorn. A wonderful way to finish your reading. I do thank you for tuning in, and I thank you for subbing the channel, hitting the notification button, pushing like the video. I love it when you leave your comments, and also check your moon and rising signs as well, because there are bound to be just as many wonderful messages there as well. Thank you again, everyone. Be safe, be happy. Much love to you all. Namaste.